Hi, hello friends. This is Dr. R. Karthikeyan doing MD Medicine at MAMC. So today we'll be seeing an interesting topic in ECG. So life starts after the heart starts to beat. The contractile activity is preceded by an electrical activity in the heart, which is recorded by the ECG. These are the waves in the ECG. Previously we have discussed the basics. This is the P wave representing the atrial depolarization, and this is the PR segment where the current is in the AV node, and this is the QRS complex which represents ventricular depolarization, and this is the ST segment where everything is depolarized and no current is flowing on. Then this represents the T wave, which is the ventricular repolarization. Yes, following which the heart beats. Okay, and what happens is, if there is some kind of blockage in the delivery of blood supply to the heart, at that time there are so many clues in the ECG through which you can find this blockage in the blood vessels supplying the heart. So what are those clues? Since so what are the clues? It gives clues in the reverse direction, starting from the T wave changes and ST segment changes. If you don't intervene, then it will be Q wave change, and if you don't intervene at that time also, that results in death. Okay, so now actually how it all starts. Okay, see, so this was moderate blockage of the coronary artery. That part we call it as ischemia. Okay, and this is critical obstruction of coronary artery, complete obstruction of coronary artery, which we call it as injury. Okay, and this part is completely blocked vessel with heart is injured. The heart myocardium is replaced by scar, fibrous tissue, non-contractile tissue. That time we call that part as infarct. So ischemia, injury and infarct. So our goal in treatment is to convert those, try to convert maximum areas in the infarct to the injury region, and injury region to the ischemia region, and ischemia region to the normal region. So how to do that, and what are the treatment options for it, and how to take treatment decisions based on ECG or any other criteria is there. Everything we are going to dissect one by one. So first, the initial clue will be the T wave changes that we will be seeing now. Yes, yeah. So as I told, this is the heart. Okay, this portion is the blood chambers, this is the endocardium, and this is the pericardium. This part of the myocardium can be divided into three. One is, see, this is zoomed portion of the this part. So instantly below the endocardium there is myocardium portion, which we call it as subendocardial myocardium. Okay, and this is the proper middle 1/3 of myocardium. Then this is the subepicardial portion of myocardium. Okay, so what happens is, this coronary blood supply actually enters the myocardium in a perpendicular direction. Like, see this, it enters at right angles to the myocardium, and as we know, the blood flow to the myocardium is mostly during diastole. It's not like it doesn't go in systole, it goes in systole also, but maximum portion goes to diastole when the heart relaxes. So what happens is blood flow to the subepicardial and myocardial portions are supplied by the coronary arteries, and blood supply to the endocardium is supplied by the blood in the blood chambers. They enter through and supply the endocardium by simple process of diffusion. Okay, so this portion of the heart is vulnerable to ischemia if coronary arteries are blocked, since this is the distalmost portion receiving blood flow from the coronary arteries. So earliest manifestations will be subendocardial myocardial ischemia. This is the earliest manifestation in an ischemic heart disease. Okay, so how does it manifest? As we told, initial clue will be there in the T waves. Yes. So as we know, this is a normal T wave mechanism. Usually T wave is due to repolarization, that is from the apex to the base. Okay, so this produces T wave. Just note the normal asymmetry of the normal T wave. See, T wave is like slow upstroke followed by rapid downstroke. This is a normal T wave. See the shape, asymmetry. If you divide it into two halves, it is not symmetrical. Okay, this you should know with respect to normal T wave. So what happens to the T wave in ischemia? Yes, so in ischemia, what happens is ischemic cells in the subendocardial portion of myocardium, what happens is they depolarize early. Okay, before all the myocardial cells in this area can depolarize, this depolarizes very early. So what will happen? If it depolarizes early, then what will start instantly? Yes, repolarization. So repolarization will start from the subendocardial myocardium to the apex. Normal direction was apex to the base, but now it is going towards the apex. So that means normal vector of the T wave was upright like this. Now since it's going towards the lead, it produces a negative deflection. It is a repolarizing vector. So it is a negative vector moving towards the lead. So it is a downward deflection. Okay, this we call it as T wave inversion. This is the marker of ischemia going on in the patient. Okay, this T wave inversions can happen. One is ischemia, and also can happen if the myocardial layer is irritated or if it is strained. Meaning irritation means any inflammation in the myocardium or pericardium might irritate it, like myocarditis, pericarditis. Okay, strains like left ventricle undergoes strain in case of LVH, any case of LVH, cause of LVH like hypertension or aortic stenosis where the left ventricle undergoes strain, and right ventricle undergoes strain in pulmonary hypertension, like that, pulmonary embolism where a clot is blocking the outflow tract. So there it undergoes strain. In this strain pattern also T wave inversions will be there. And in one more thing you need to know is a valence T wave, meaning there will be deep T wave inversions in the chest leads like V1, V2, V3 may, you will find deep T wave inversions. If that is there, then the patient should be instantly advised to go for coronary angiography. If that is there means there is a big blockage, big obstruction in the main trunk of left coronary artery. Before it bifurcates into two, in the main trunk itself, if there is a blood clot, atheromatous plug blocking the vessel, then it manifests as deep symmetrical T wave inversions in the chest leads. So that is Valence T wave. Instantly you should be advised to go for coronary angiography, and if there is a blockage, you can do the necessary intervention, which we will be discussing in subsequent formats. Next, so now we have discussed all the causes of T wave inversions, and one more cause is there, where subarachnoid hemorrhage. Subarachnoid hemorrhage is also cause for T wave inversions. Okay, these are all the extra causes of T wave inversions apart from ischemia. Okay, if you liked our videos, you can comment in the comment section below of how you felt, and any doubts you can comment in the comment section, as well as in our WhatsApp as well as Telegram groups. Okay, thank you.